What's up, YouTube? This is B-Boy Turk 1990, and this is another deck profile of mine. This time it's the Darkface Mega Colony deck. So my starter is Childhood Command Rosenberg. This guy is really good because he has Dark Device that activates, which is the new mechanic for Mega Colonies. And if some of you don't know what Dark Device is when you have say you have like a rear guard two columns here. The same column here, your opponent's column on the other side has to be the same here, and they have to be stunned. So basically stunned, you just rest them, and when they're in the same column here and they're rested, your opponent's stuff are rested and they're in the same column as your rear guards, their Dark Device activates. So, and when his Dark Device is, when you put him in the soul, you can choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and they can't intercept or be used to pay as cost. So, and his other act skill, and that's a GB1 when he's in Dark Device. His other skill is you can rest him and rest one of your opponent's units. He's really good overall. Now to my grade 3s. This is a Darkface deck, so you definitely have to play 1, 2, 4 Darkface. This guy is unbelievably good. He's amazing. Here's what he does. At GB2, his GB2 is whenever your opponent brings up a rear guard, Soul Blast 2, they become rest. And when something is stride on him, you counterblast 1, pick 2 of your opponent's rear guards, and at the end of the turn, this unit is rested, you could draw a card, and those units cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. This guy is really good and sets up plays and makes sure your opponent's stuff gets rested. Then next I play 4 Superior Mantis. Basically his Dark Device will activate when he's Vanguard or Rear Guard. You counterblast 1, pick a unit in the same column as him, and it becomes rest, and they can't stand during your next stand phase. And when he's in Dark Device, and it's a GB1, I can choose one of your opponent's other rear guards, and that unit cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. So his first skill, it has to be someone in the same column, but the second skill, if I'm correct, if you're a GB1, I can pick anyone and they can't stand in the next stand phase. So I might take out 2 Superior Mantis and put Cyclone Platoons. So when I get those stuff, I'm going to change the deck and make another video of it. So that was my grade 3s, now my grade 2s. I play 4 Punish Stag. This card is really good because it's Darkface specific, so you need a Darkface as a Vanguard. But you could go for the grade 4 one, you can go for grade 3 one. But it's good if you have the grade 3 and grade 4, so you're only gonna get 2K, so that's fine. But you choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and until the end of the turn, you rest it, and it will become rest, so you can't stand in the next stand phase. And if this unit is rest at the end of your opponent's turn, I get to draw a card. So that's the beauty of this card, and it works well with the new grade 1 that comes out, that came out on the second technical booster, which I will explain after in a bit. So next I play 3 Sweet Cocktails. This is the Amber clone. Basically it rests the unit, and at the end of the turn I get to draw a card at the end of my opponent's turn, and they can't intercept nor stand in their standby phase, your opponent's next stand phase. Really good. Next I play 2 Cyclic Sickle Mutant Aristiscythe, yeah. I love this card because 1, it's good when you're on a Vanguard or rear guard, but as long as your opponent's units is rested, Dark Device will activate and he gains 2K. And this doesn't have to be GB. That's the amazing part about this card. So definitely play this. In my opinion, this card is really good. Then next, I play, and lastly, 2 Buster Mantis, just because since it doesn't have Dark Device in the name, but it gets big. It gains 3k when my units and Vanguard are at rest. It gains 3k for that battle. That's the end of that battle. So that's the grade 2s. Now my grade 3s. I play 4 of the Unflip Perfect Guards. Nothing else to say. 4 Stride Enablers, searches out Darkface, and not much more to answer. I might play that 3 once I get Cyclone 2s and put the Yellow Jacket Limit Break Enablers. So for now, I don't have that yet, so I'll just wait for that. 4 Vulcan Laferte. This card is so good. It's Dark Device. At the beginning of your main phase, you may pay the cost, and if I do, I countercharge a card. And if my Vanguard, it has Darkface in the card name, this unit cannot be chosen. This unit cannot be chosen by effects of your opponent's card, so it has resist. 1 and 2. Your opponent's units in the same column as this unit cannot intercept. How amazing is that? It literally just says your opponent, it basically is saying your opponent cannot intercept at all once this card is in a column. Don't put this behind Vanguard, just put it on your rear guards behind. This card is really good, especially if you put it behind Punish Stag or Sweet Cocktail. This card is going to do wonders. And plus, at the beginning of your main phase, you can put him in the soul and you get to countercharge as many as you have on the field. That's amazing. And 2 Scarlet Venoms. This is just for attack for now, but I might take him out for the limit break enablers for once I get Cyclone Tooth. But his Dark Device is actually not too bad. It's like when he's placed on the rear guard, this unit gets 2k for until the end of the turn for each of your opponent's rear guards in the same column as this unit. So they don't have to be at rest, or they have to be a Dark Device, so they have to be at rest. But if you put this, let's say you're behind Vanguard, and then most of the time Vanguards will have a booster. So you call this behind Vanguard, it gains 4k. It'll become an 11k booster because of Dark Device. So this is not too bad, but I might get rid of it sooner once I get Cycle 2. Now, that was my grade 1s. Now onto my triggers. I play 6 crits for the Darkface crits. I play 6 stands. 2 of the Earth Dreamer and 4 Makeup Widow. The Earth Dreamer is like when you put this unit on the top of the deck. But at the beginning of your opponent's ride phase, if the number of your opponent's rear guards at rest is 3 or more, you may pay the cost. If you do, shuffle your deck and draw 2 cards. This is gonna probably help to give you hand advantage. So I'm just testing it out right now. I might drop this and just play 4 of these stand triggers. Yeah, there you go. 4 of the Makeup Widows and maybe 2 draws or 2 more crits. But so far, it's not too bad. I probably just need a better setup. But it's not too. But this is pretty decent. But Makeup Widow, this is a great card because it's gotta be on Dark Device. That's 1. 2. At the end of each turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, countercharge 1. Choose one of your opponent's grade 1s or less units, and that unit cannot restand during your opponent's next standby phase. So not only you countercharge, you get to stun one of your opponent's units. That's why Makeup Widow is a very great stand trigger. You want to play 4 of her. And last but not least, as obvious, 4 heals. Now that's my main deck. Onto my Stride deck. I forgot to set these up. So I play. Hold on, I'll be right there. 4 Merciless Mutant Deity Darkface, the bigger one, because this one is the one that his skill is that is Dark Device. So you counterblast 1, choose any, flip up anything, and just pick up as many. You choose the number of units as the same number of him face up. So, and they will gain the unit cannot intercept and it cannot be chosen for card effects, and plus he gains 5k for each unit that's affected by it. So this is good. This give you a good first turn stride or a second turn stride, depending on the situation you're in. So with that in mind, I would definitely play this one. You definitely have to play at 4. Next, you play. I play 1 Paraspear. This is probably the better first turn stride, just so everything your opponent gets rests everything. You gain 5k and you draw a card. Simple as that. Then I play 2 Staggle Dippers. Why did I say 4? Anyways, 2 Staggle Dippers, because I pick up 3 of my units, and my units will gain 1,000 for each of my opponent's rested units. Plus you counterblast 1. The cost is not bad. Counterblast 1 and flip anything from your G zone. So you can flip the Mega Mutant Deity Darkface, and you can use this as a first turn strike also. Then what else you do is you give 3 of your units, they will gain 1,000 for each rested unit. So it basically just buffs up your units, and that's probably something you want to do. So 2 of him, it works out well. Next, I play 1, 2, 3 Stun Beetles. This card is the most dangerous one, and most certainly will be perfect guarded, because you just counterblast 2, flip your Persona flip, and when his unit attack hits a Vanguard, I can pay the cost, and if I do, all your opponent's Vanguards cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase, and your opponent cannot normal ride during any of your opponent's next ride phase. This card is disgustingly good. That's why 3 is good. Don't play 4. Next, I play 2 Obturandus. Wow. Is all I can say is wow. You literally just can stop a lot of your opponent's plays, because he says you counterblast 2, discard a card, your opponent cannot call monsters, period, until the next phase. It literally stops a lot of units, like a lot of clans, like Gold Paladins, Pale Moons, Grand Blues, Murakumo sometimes, Dark Regulars, like a lot of combo based decks. This card will stop it on its tracks for 1 full turn. So this guy, really amazing. Then I play 4 G Guardians, 2 Scarab Bags, and 2 Grisports. Basically, Grisport is really good for if your opponent has a full board, you want to guard big, so you just get rid of the just make your opponent rest the whole back row, and you gain 2, and it gains 5k for every 2 rested rear guards. So basically you get gain like a 15k guard just from him alone. It would be 30k guard by himself. So yeah, so this is my Darkface Mega Colony deck profile. So the last one I'm going to do is Chronofang deck profile. So this is B-Boy Target 1990 saying deuces.